Well, hello and welcome to a Wednesday daily, which features the Allies expansion paired with some Seaside stuff. So, yeah, rather nice stuff. But there is a lack of thinning, the only thinning being island. But before we go into the details of that, let me show you the kingdom. We have Haven and Sycophant as two cost cards, Importer having us start with 5 favors in total, and the favors in this one can be used with Architect's Guild, saying when you gain a card, you may spend 2 favors to gain a cheaper non-victory card. Now, what else do we have to get us favors? Well, Sycophant, on gain and on trash, but there's no trashing. There's Emissary, which if we shuffle by drawing the 3 cards, so if we play the Emissary at the end of our shuffle, then we also get 2 favors. So that's an option. And actually, there are a few cards that might help us set this up. One of them being Innkeeper, which can sift through our cards and then, for example, draw 3, discard 3, getting us closer to the end of the shuffle and also putting cards into our discard. And also in some cases maybe Merchant Camp, which we can top deck in a way such that the Emissary hopefully is in a perfect position to trigger a shuffle. Now, apart from that, we have a very strong card in Outpost. Essentially, if we do it correctly, especially with Haven, it should allow us to have 2 turns in a row, essentially, if we can make do of the 3 cards. And yeah, with Architect's Guild, you get a lot of punch, especially in the opening, but also later on, if we buy Emissary and pair it up with a town, that's amazing. Architect's Guild does say you may spend 2 favors to gain a cheaper non-victory card, so we cannot gain islands off of it, but still, it should be rather nice. Now, yeah, I don't know. Let's look at the kingdom plot. It looks rather funny. The thinning is weak. The draw is alright, but actually pretty good if we can get our hands on a bunch of emissaries, especially since there are abundant villages in Merchant Camp, Town, and Bazaar. There is some alt VP in Island, lots of gains, and no attack, no way to slow down your opponent. So it's a race against the clock and against the piles, of course. Now, opening wise, I actually need to adjust the script to fit those 5 thingies into those 5 images into that second slot. Opening wise, we have yeah, some nice stuff. We can do, for example, on the 4-3, we can open Innkeeper Importer or Town Importer. I think I like Innkeeper a bit more to go through the shuffle a bit further, and then pair that with Importer Haven. If the importers collide, hopefully we'll be able to set one aside with the Haven or just sift past it with the Innkeeper and then aim to get our hands on emissaries as soon as possible. Now, the 5-2 looks even better because we get to open emissary, and with that, we can put, for example, a town and an importer immediately into the shuffle and then pair that with a haven. Or we could go for emissary, innkeeper, importer. That would also be a possibility to go for those 2 terminals. Does have the sad case of finding the emissary turn 3 and drawing a bunch of stuff dead, but I still think it's a rather nice opening. Now, I would say we start this one, and yeah, I think Innkeeper, Importer, or I can even do this on turn 1, go into the Haven. And AI goes for a similar plan, but doesn't go for the Innkeeper, but rather a town. And yeah, we should add a town of our own. Now here we have 4 cards left, so the Innkeeper is going to play for the 3 cards, discard 3, and we get to set aside an importer, find the other importer here, and can pick up another Haven. It's a bit sad that we didn't see any of the importers turn 3, but nothing we can change about that. So we can import an emissary, go for plus cards and actions, and again only hit 4, but at least we get to put in another town, and we get to import another emissary, putting that into the shuffle. And actually, I think we do go for the +5, discard 6 cards here. So hopefully find one of our emissaries. Now, do we play this Haven first? If we... No, I think we do play the town anyways, and we do miss the emissaries, but on the plus side, they are on top of the shuffle, so we will get to trigger here. And things are moving rather slowly, but should somewhat explode hopefully soon. And I wonder whether we add an outpost here. I think we still just go for emissary. The main thing about being so slow on the emissaries is that we haven't really been able to gather any favors, and this is also a rather awkward draw, but at least we got to set aside one. And not having gathered any favors means that we cannot really go into this mass gaining phase. Yeah, so I played this one earlier, and there also the importers kind of bottom decked, but I still got going a bit quicker because the emissaries didn't bottom deck. But here, yeah, we are on the slow side, but still, I think we're in a good-ish position. I think we add another innkeeper here. Could also be an island at this point to maybe set aside one of our estates, get our deck a bit more reliable that way. But yeah, I think the innkeeper is the correct choice. Let's hold off on the Architect's Guild for now. Can still do this the next turn. And we did not find any of our towns there. It's rather annoying. Well, but at least we get this. We get to go for probably just +3, discard 3, play this emissary normally, set aside an estate, play... We are going to play a bunch of stuff anyways, so we might as well play the town for plus actions. This way we can trigger a shuffle here and have a clean discard. Now, we maybe should have set aside a copper rather than a estate with this haven, but it's pretty fine. Now here we can add emissary, town, and merchant camp, and even another haven. I think that's good. Next turn, yeah, we have, although we have a haven coming out. So next turn we have the 2 importers. Let's keep around 2 of the favors actually to do some nice stuff. And pick up Outpost Emissary. We are also late on the Outpost, but I mean, with these junky kind of decks, it's always going to be rather slow. I actually had a very funny game in which AI went for just importers and sycophants and duchies and almost rushed to a really nice ending. But I just got to outrush it. Let's see. Okay, this is really good that we find this here because hopefully we'll find some emissaries using that. Now let's go for this. One more village play. And I think we do play this emissary anyways. We have the outpost in there, so no, actually let's first go for the +3 cards and see, okay, whether we find the outpost already. We do not, so it's the very last card in there, so well, oh well. But we do get to add another emissary paired with town and another merchant camp probably, and we were able to set aside this emissary. Unfortunately, this is already the end of this turn because we didn't get to set up a nice top decking 3 merchant camps, but oh well. And I wonder whether that was correct to top deck that merchant camp. But yeah, with 7 coppers and 3 estates in the decks at this point, it's always got to be junky. So, oh well. Pick up just more Emissary. Haven away maybe one of the innkeepers. We have so many villages, we should be able to find one if we just go for 3. And luckily we do. Um, let's see. We should have another emissary in there, no? Yeah, there it is. Set aside just an estate. We didn't find the outpost, which is again pretty bad. I wonder whether we just play +1 card and 2 actions to try to find it. Maybe we shouldn't have set aside this innkeeper here, I guess. But yeah, let's just go for a province, play it a bit safe, and pick up a bazaar, because why not? We do have the innkeeper, and do we have more emissary there? Now, I didn't track perfectly, but I think we do have more emissary in there. Yeah, we have a lot of emissary in here. So again, not the greatest draws, stuff bottom decked left and right, but still it's turn 10, so yeah, on another playthrough, after 10 turns with the 5-2, I was able to finish with like 27 points. But here we had the rather sad draws early on, so no way to do that there. And AI is aggressively trying to pile out now. I think we can do the same actually, because we have a potentially great turn coming up. I wonder though, yeah, I think it's fine to go for Bazaar and try to empty towns and bazaars. If we draw here, we're set, and we're very likely to draw with that opening hand and do get to do some outpost stuff as well. Now here we can fire some of those off and go for probably +5 cards, discard 6. We just want to get around to our emissaries. And yeah, there's a haven in there, which I would like to find to... How do we trigger? Yeah, we can guarantee a clean shuffle in with these. Ah no, we have both havens there. Oh shoot. I thought we had one there, but we do have 3 merchant camps. Well, we don't even have 3 merchant camps now. Oh well. I wonder then whether it's best to just play... I know we don't get to set aside an emissary this turn. This is a bit annoying. And we will only have 1 importer. I guess what we need to do then is +3 and rack up more favors so we can go for some buys here, importer outpost, and we are guaranteed to pile out on the next turn. Decline this. Now here this can gain us the other town. Decline that. Buy an estate. Decline that. And at last, whether we draw or not on the outpost turn doesn't matter. We have the importer in play. We will be able to gain a duchy and architect's guild for a town. Already emptying everything. And yeah, we might as well stop here and finish this off with another duchy. And yeah, I don't know. I think this was 11 turns. Super fast still and super explosive once we get going. It is a bit, due to the junky decks, it's a bit dependent on shuffle luck. I mean, you can kind of make your own luck by getting those innkeepers and trying to cycle a bit. But yeah, there is powerful stuff to do here, and maybe I should have gone for more havens here and try to go a bit more on the reliable side there. But yeah, I mean, without the thinning, you're a bit dependent on draws anyways. And I still like that we were able to finish it in 11 turns despite the bad early draws. So I don't know. I enjoyed this one, and I hope you did as well. And with that, I'll leave you here, and we'll try to catch you in the next one. And until then, goodbye.